All right, Coach, first opened back in 2017. There's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, Elliott. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. 3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Back to throw. Wilkinson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Now Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field.
Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They start on the ground with Elliott.
Oh, a nice spin.
And space opened up a bit. He's able to take this up past the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
Let's go! 190! 190!
Again to Elliott. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Well, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's pulled in at the 32. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First catch so far for Julio. He's got a 1st down. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now it's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 11 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
There we go.
Here's Ryan. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Hey, boys, got 4 down.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Let's go.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, it's Ryan. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And his kick is good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They'll start the drive with Elliott, dancing away at the 30. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go. White 90.
The give is to Elliott. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, Wilkinson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they're just trying to get some momentum built. Get a 1st down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On 1st down, Wilkinson. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Looking to throw. Wilkinson. And a hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Here we go. White 90.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilkinson. And that is incomplete.
And based on my math, they've only converted one time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. Third downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
I remember playing, and from a safety's perspective, when you saw a toss play and trying to see guys get to the edge and get outside, that was always a tough moment because where do you go to pick up the ball carrier? If they seal the edge and seal the perimeter, they're going to bounce that outside. It's a lot longer run, and you've got to make sure your angle is right because once they get to the edge, they're going to pick up good yardage. Your job now is to make sure they don't go all the way for a touchdown. You have to become an excellent tackler against a lot of bodies out leading a runner. And on this play, the defenders were finally able to rally to the ball after a big pickup of yardage and herd him out of bounds.
On second down, Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hey, Tuesday.
Now Ryan on second down. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Looking to throw on second down. Ryan flushed out right. This throw caught right around the 6. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Gets fielded in the end zone. And now look at him go. The 30, 20, touchdown, Cowboys. In for the score. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Hauschka adds the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. On second down, Freeman gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Gun. Here we go.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
To throw on second down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
20.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Ryan. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. They go to Elliott again. He finds an opening past the 40 and all the way up to the 46. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Elliott a first down and more. And finally brought down at the 38. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
This is Elliott. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That's complete to Meredith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Ohio!
Looking to throw on second down. Wilkinson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Back to throw. Wilkinson. And this is caught at the 8. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Back now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Runs over it, and he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Cowboys have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. Hauschka with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Gets it off to Freeman. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, Ryan being chased out left. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Hey, let's go.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. This one caught by Chesson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
Gun. 21. Let him go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score, and he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
A first down carry by Elliott. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
But again, it's Elliott. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Wilkinson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Flex round! Flex round!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And they'll run it here. Oh, what a move. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. From the gun, Wilkinson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down. Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. He's to the 10, cuts it out, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 21st touchdown of the season, and the Cowboys will extend their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to do it.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 19, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
On the counter, Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
From our vantage point, that was just one bad play by the offensive line in a series of really good ones tonight. But I know that they're going to be really ticked off. It's a lot like a baseball pitcher losing a no-hitter late in the game.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Wilkinson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Cowboys on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
Looking to throw. Wilkinson. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play.
Flex round! Flex round!
On 1st and 10, Wilkinson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that.
Six now on the campaign. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. So for Charles...